Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, December 19th, week 51 of 2020. We're on the home stretch. We're just 6 days before Christmas and 12 days before the new year. On Sunday, we got a little bit of snow. That was kind of nice. We also got some neat news that we have a free place for our little family to stay in a little bit further south for this New Year's. On Monday, I was exploring some new creative ideas. I'll be introducing some of those to this channel here in the coming year. Also on Monday, I had a nice conversation with a friend. He's bilingual, and he was saying something about feeling like he wasn't too confident about his English. English is his second language. I just really wanted to encourage him because most of us wish that we could speak more than one language. I think if I were to speak another language, I would probably have to move to another country for a while and get immersed in that language. Otherwise, I don't know how I would learn it. I mean, you have to practice anything in order to get good at it, especially a language. So I was encouraging him, telling him, you really ought to play up the fact that you know more than one language. Make that part of your videos. Teach us a little bit of your language. On Tuesday, I was doing a lot of thinking about these little videos that I want to do, things about creativity and curiosity and that type of thing. It all of a sudden occurred to me that the things I was wanting to focus on are actually things I could refer to as my core values. Some people bristle at that because they've been in companies or whatnot that core values were just sort of something written on the wall but not actually lived. I've been in companies like that. But from a personal perspective, I think about the things that I really value, and there's really only a handful of them. So I'll be talking more about those in the coming weeks and months. Speaking of things that I value, I really started taking to heart what I was thinking about last week or the week before in the vlog. Just the fact that I really need to get in shape. I want to be able to go on a little hike like I did without being completely out of breath. You know, I need to get my core tighter. I need to get some tone in my muscles and get my lungs, more used to something cardio. So I took that to heart and I got up early on Wednesday morning and I went to the gym and I did a little bit of cardio for 20-30 minutes, just baby steps to get moving in the right direction. It felt good. It was a little tough, and it should be because I really haven't been doing much of working out. On Thursday, I drove Brian to school and we were just talking about various different things. Brian makes me a better driver. When I was training him to drive, I gave him permission to tell me anytime that he saw something that I wasn't doing correctly. Some people might say that's not a good idea, but I just thought, hey, transparency, accountability, all of that. And I realized things like I need to come to a complete stop more often. What else has Brian pointed out? I need to use my turn signal more consistently. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my two major offenses that I need to pay more attention to. Yesterday, I was looking around my office and I'm just thinking this space gets so cluttered so easily, and there's, I have things that I'd like to just be able to grab around my office and I want them to be easily accessible, but then it ends up just being clutter that just piles up in here. So I am experimenting with and I've ordered some little organizational tray type things that are used a lot of times in people's shops and things like that. But I figure if I can just get these things that I really like to have handy in some little drawers or something, then maybe I can stay more organized, less cluttered. Like right now, I decluttered a little bit here, and there's a couple of things that I am looking for that I can't seem to find. If I had a place for everything, it would be a whole lot easier, and I bet I could be a lot more creative too if I could get to a level of organization that is, I don't know, I don't want to be super organized. I want to be able to tolerate a little bit of mess. But at the same time, I want to be organized enough that when I want to do something, I can do it easily because I know where things are. Does that make any sense? I feel like I'm not really explaining that completely well, but it's a part of my journey in 2021 along with getting in shape. Those are a couple of my goals of things that I really want to do. This morning I woke up, noticed that it was looking really nice outside. There were some neat clouds in the sky, so I went for a drive, did a little bit of adulting, went to Lowe's to get some things that I needed. One of the bathroom sinks, the plunger thing is broken, the part that lifts the what am I trying to say? The part that lifts the, not plunger, that's not the word I'm looking for. The part that lifts the plug up and down in the sink. That part like rusted off or fell apart or something, so I needed to get a new one of those. And of course they don't sell just the arm that moves it up and down. You have to buy the whole thing. Thankfully it wasn't too terribly expensive, so that'll be a project I need to do. Hopefully I can get that done by the end of today, because I'd really like to have that working again. Right now we had to take the plug completely out, and so we could have things like jewelry or stuff fall down inside there, and then I'd have to really take apart the whole thing. So yeah, adventures in adulting. And I did a little thing today when I was at Lowe's, something I've wanted to do for a long time. I bought a bird feeder. And for those of you who love birds and may not think that's a big deal, but it's the first time I've ever bought, other than a hummingbird feeder, it's the first time I've ever bought a bird feeder, and I hung it right outside our kitchen window, so when we're sitting there doing dishes, we can appreciate the birds out there. I don't know why, but it feels like a step for me of appreciating things around me to purchase a bird feeder. I don't know, does that make any sense? There's a lot of things that I'm allowing myself to do that I guess I spent so much time in the past trying to only do things that were practical, feeling guilty when I did something that was not practical. I don't know. I need to explore that thought some and find out why it is I feel that way. Well, that's it for week 51 of 2020. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.